Well, now let's get to the stunning result of last night's Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. The Philadelphia Eagles are waking up this morning as NFL champions after soaring to victory over the Kansas City Chiefs with a commanding 40-22 win. They had a 24-0 lead at halftime, led by the Eagles' relentless defense. They sacked Chiefs superstar Patrick Mahomes 6 times and forced him into multiple turnovers. It really was kind of amazing to see. On the offensive side, quarterback Jalen Hurts led the team with an MVP-worthy performance by delivering 3 total touchdowns. This victory marks the Eagles' second Super Bowl title and also spoils the Chiefs' pursuit of a historic three-peat. For more on this year's big game, we are joined by NBC News correspondent Sam Brock in Philadelphia and staff writer at The Athletic, Charlotte Carroll. Good morning to both of you. Thanks very much for joining us, Charlotte. Let's get to you on what really just kind of was an unbelievable result last night. The game was not as close as the score would even indicate, even though the score is not very close, but just we all were expecting, I think, a little bit of a different performance from the Chiefs. I don't think anyone would have predicted that the Eagles put up that type of performance against the defending champs, especially that first half. What were the key factors that helped them slow down the Chiefs' offense and really just have a dominant game from the very start?
Thanks so much. Yeah, no, knowing the two coordinators and the defensive coordinators, we kind of figured this might be a defensive battle in some aspects, but as you mentioned, no one expected that absolutely dismantling. You just saw Patrick Mahomes look completely uncomfortable at times. He was off his game. It was the, I believe, lowest or biggest deficit he faced at halftime and in his career. It was very crazy to watch and just very different than what we all expected going into this.
Absolutely. Sam, all right, it's sad when one team loses and you see those sad fans. It's happy and fun, and what a treat when you see fans in a hometown just absolutely losing it over a win. Tell us about the scene in downtown Philly after fans are in the streets celebrating last night.
So, Savannah, good morning. You know, right now, Philadelphia downtown is intact. It's functioning. Based on what I saw last night, that is a borderline miracle. I'm standing on Broad Street right now. This entire thoroughfare here was shoulder to shoulder for hours. There were hundreds of thousands of fans in downtown Philadelphia. Certainly, the outcome might have been stunning in terms of how much of a blowout this was. It was not stunning that the city of Philadelphia was ready to party. Look at this. You have people on top of dump trucks. That's just one snapshot of what we saw yesterday. Broad Street and really all over Center City, which is the core of downtown Philadelphia, you had police officers, firefighters, EMS workers stationed in all of those barricades to try to keep people generally funneled into the middle of the street, and huge dump trucks and obstructions to make sure vehicles could not be going back and forth between the side streets leading into Broad. So from a public safety standpoint, it was all secure there. What you're seeing here is video of linens that were lit on fire after revelers stole that out of a truck. We're not aware at this point of any arrests that came from that or even from any injuries, but it was quite the scene. In fact, if you look over my shoulder right now here down back on Broad Street, you'll see these light poles. There were people unquestionably on those. Look at that sort of arch window right there. People were standing. That's got to be 15 feet high, 12 to 15 feet high. They climbed the building and we're standing inside of that. That is basically the scene that we observed last night. There were many people that partied and did so responsibly as well. A quick snapshot here of what we spoke to with fans last night, how they were experiencing the emotions of the night. Take a listen.
Oh my God, it's amazing. We blew out Patrick Mahomes.
In your wildest dreams.
That was my wildest dreams. That was my wildest dreams.
This is absolutely incredible for the city. Not only for the city, but honestly for everyone around there that's ever been an underdog. That's what Philly speaks to.
So, Savannah, obviously the biggest of wins. This is the second Super Bowl now for the Eagles in their franchise history. The first one coming against Tom Brady in 2018. Now Jalen Hurts getting over the mountaintop against Patrick Mahomes and the Chief in 2025. Nick Sirianni becomes the first Eagles coach ever to get to 2 Super Bowls and to win one. So he achieves some redemption as well. And as far as the parade is concerned, the Eagles kind of teasing about this. They posted on X last night, get ready for Friday with this absolutely cinematic video. And then then just minutes later it was deleted. But right now it appears there will be a parade probably right through here where I'm standing on Friday. So
I love it. Happy for those fans. Charlotte, let's talk about Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts. Before the game, we actually thought it would probably be running back Saquon Barkley. He might be the difference maker. Both of these men with incredible stories. But Barkley was kind of held to a quiet night, at least by his standards. And Hurts, I mean, he really 3 touchdowns. He led the team here. Walk us through what you think about this pick.
It was a dominating performance from Hurts, and it was something where he got his revenge following Super Bowl 57. We saw him come away from that with the loss, and he wanted to come back stronger, and he showed that on the field, and he was able to get the job done and named MVP and got to celebrate with all his teammates.
Sam.
And have...
Oh, sorry, Charlotte. I think we're losing you a little bit. Keep going.
No. It's all good. Back to you.
Okay. My audio is going in and out. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but Charlotte, what do you think this means for the Chiefs dynasty going forward?
Yeah, it's definitely thwarted. They did not get that historic three-peat and the first one in the modern Super Bowl era. But there's no need to fear. This is a dominating team. Patrick Mahomes is still only 29 years old. We'll see what happens with Travis Kelce and what that looks like going forward in his career if he decides to retire. But they still have the pieces, and Andy Reid is expected to return. So you get these pieces back, and you look at, again, the dynasty can kind of continue, just not with the three-peat.
Sam, you seem not so thrilled to be covering the Eagles win. What's going on?
Yeah, look, I think I didn't want to have to say this, but I'll say this. I am not exactly an Eagles fan. Look, I'm very happy for them. I'm certainly happy for Saquon Barkley, who used to play for the New York Giants and just broke a record this year, not just 2,000 yards in the regular season, but the most yards ever for any running back when you account for what he did in the postseason as well. That's all well and good. I wouldn't say that Philadelphia fans are endearing themselves to the rest of the world and the nation when it comes to, their behavior and their fandom, but good for Philadelphia. The vibes are very strong here today. I'm absolutely going along with the party so far. Savannah, I disagree with the premise that I'm not down for this.
Do you? It didn't really sound like it. Sam Brock, I also don't love you in the middle of this media and these cars are like rushing past you. Please be safe. Thank you for putting in the hard work.
Yeah, I will.
Even though you're not loving it. Charlotte Carroll, appreciate it. Thank you both.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.